Hey everyone, welcome back to some more Reddit stories about entitled people, insane people, and all that kind of stuff. Hope you're all doing awesome, and as usual, we'll be checking out some more Reddit posts today. So feel free to share your thoughts about today's stories down in the comments, and we're getting right into it. I, 22 female, believe my boyfriend, 28, might be tampering with my toothbrush. This is probably the weirdest and most disgusting thing I've ever typed, but I think I'm slowly realizing my boyfriend has been doing something really effed up. We've been together for about a year and a half. He's always been a little passive-aggressive when he's upset. He won't talk things through. He just gets quiet or moody and gives me the silent treatment, or accuses me of trying to continue arguments when I'm trying to hash things out until the conversation ends. He loves to reset or act like an issue or disagreement never happened. Anyways, a few months ago I started noticing my toothbrush was being moved. It's electronic and it would be off the charger on its side, or the whole thing scooted back or forward. I thought it was just getting knocked around because our counter is small. Eventually I started noticing that it would be wet in the middle of the day, or other times when I hadn't recently brushed my teeth. One time I noticed something on it like it had been used to clean grout. That's when I started keeping a small spare toothbrush hidden in my makeup bag, which never was moved or messed with. Here's the part that really makes me feel sick. I finally confronted him after struggling to come to the reality that someone might be this disgusting, and said something straightforward along the lines of, "Are you doing something to my toothbrush when you're mad at me?" And he just laughed and said, "You're crazy," and then refused to talk about it further. I don't even know how to process that. Like, what? I haven't seen him do it, so I don't have proof. But I know something's up. I feel crazy, but my gut is screaming at me that this is real, and he is getting back at me by putting my toothbrush in the toilet or something else gross. I haven't told anyone because it's honestly humiliating and gross, but I feel trapped between thinking I'm paranoid and realizing I might be with someone who would literally put my toothbrush in the toilet to get back at me. What do I even do? Update. When I wrote that first post, I felt sick, confused, and honestly ashamed. I didn't think anyone would even read it, let alone respond, but I did get responses, a lot of them. And something about that, being seen in a situation I've been quietly drowning in, shifted something in me. I didn't give him another chance because I still couldn't believe what was happening. I gave him one because part of me still wanted him to redeem himself. I wanted him to see how scared I was, how small he'd made me feel, and do something decent for once. After that first night I posted here, I thought maybe if I brought it up again, calmly, and gave him a real opening to be honest, he might finally do the right thing. Instead, he doubled down. This time he implied it might be his daughter, an 8-year-old girl. He shrugged and said, "Kids do weird stuff like that, maybe she's been playing a trick on you." And when I tried to bring up how unsafe and confused I felt for months, how he used to leave my food out on purpose when he was mad, how he pushed me to drop both work and school, how isolated and anxious I've become, he brushed it all off, said they were just normal relationship disagreements that could have been worked through if I communicated better. It was so dismissive it actually stunned me. I realized in that moment that nothing I said would ever matter to him and never had. So I dropped it. I smiled. I pretended to believe him. I told him it was probably all just in my head. I didn't expect anyone to respond when I reached out. I've been so cut off from everything. But one of them did, pretty much immediately, like she was waiting to hear from me again. She told me I could crash on her couch for a few weeks while I find a job back in my home state. Probably bartending or waitressing again. I don't care, I just need it out. She waited for me at a restaurant nearby. All I had to do was text her the second he left to drop his daughter off with her mom. The moment that door closed behind him, I grabbed everything I could carry. Just a couple bags, and left all the big stuff behind without even looking back. It took 6 hours to get back home, but I'm here now. I'm safe. My body already feels different. Of course, I've already gotten texts. His daughter's mom, her family, asking where I've gone and begging me to come back, or saying the kid will miss me, that I was so good with her and they need help. And yeah, I will miss her too. I really will. She didn't ask for any of this. I'm not doing this for anyone else anymore. I'm doing this for me. For the version of me who used to have friends, who used to go out and had a whole future planned. Thanks to everyone who commented and who reminded me that being scared in your own home isn't normal. You all helped me find the nerve to leave. Mother-in-law deliberately poisons her grandchild with an allergen. My 3-year-old daughter has several severe food allergies. Peanuts and eggs are the worst. She also can't have dairy or bananas. Mother-in-law is super obsessed with my daughter. This is our only child and mother-in-law's only grandchild, so I try to be understanding. I don't say anything about it when she buys $300 dresses that my daughter will only wear once. I've encouraged a relationship between them. I've let mother-in-law have her way on holidays. I've never actually left them alone though. I can't explain exactly, but it just didn't feel right. Mother-in-law hasn't pushed for alone time. She offered to babysit but let it go when we declined. Mother-in-law has always doubted my daughter's allergies. She's insisted that her princess of a granddaughter could never have something wrong with her. However, she's never tested to see if it's true. Until today. Mother-in-law was over playing dress-up with my daughter. I had a horrible headache, so I asked her to watch my daughter so I could lie down for an hour. She agreed. 20 minutes later, I'm woken up to mother-in-law shrieking that there's something wrong with the baby. I go running to my daughter's room and she's gasping for breath and her lips are turning blue. I scream at mother-in-law to call 911 and use an EpiPen on my daughter. My daughter was able to take a deep breath and I noticed she smelled like banana. The paramedics show up. We live about a mile from a fire station. They start an IV and give my daughter meds so she can breathe. I tell one of the paramedics that my mother-in-law fed my daughter something. He found part of a cookie on the floor. He confronts my mother-in-law, who confesses she gave my daughter a peanut butter banana cookie, but she didn't know it would hurt her. I text dear husband and ride to the hospital with my daughter. They admitted her for observation and my husband met us there. Mother-in-law called him wailing about how she was just trying to show us nothing is wrong with our daughter. We're just too paranoid and have such odd ideas about our daughter's health. We eat healthy and our daughter has received all the vaccines she can have. Oh, and we use sunblock. So odd, right? That bitch admitted to my husband that she's been making allergen-laced cookies for more than a year. She bakes a huge batch and freezes them. She puts one in her purse every time she sees my daughter just in case she gets a chance to slip it to her. I can't even wrap my head around this. My daughter is asking when mother-in-law is going to come see her. She wants to show grandma her pretty bracelet, hospital band with stickers on it. I'm so devastated right now. I never suspected mother-in-law would do something like this. Edit. The hospital has already reported it to police. A detective is going to come tomorrow to take statements and talk about the next step. Update. So the detective just left. He's got copies of everything mother-in-law sent my husband, plus 11 voicemails she left me last night. My phone has been off. Apparently several of them were just her screaming that she's going to kill herself because she can't live without her baby. The detective doesn't know what is going to happen because he's never seen this before. But for right now, they're going to take her into custody due to the threats of suicide. The district attorney will have to look at the case next week. We're at an amazing children's hospital. They've sent a counselor to work with her a bit, and we're going to continue with that while we navigate the next couple weeks. She is having bouts of hysteria due to the steroids, but that's expected. She's getting doses of Benadryl for a lingering full-body itchy rash, so that calms things down quite a bit. That woman will never see us again. My daughter and I are going to stay with my parents in Ireland for a while. We're leaving at the end of the month. My husband is on board with all this. He's talking about us moving a few states away just to make sure mother-in-law can't get to our daughter. He took next week off to be there for our daughter. This could have been so much worse. Our daughter will make a full recovery. She won't remember this. We'll be okay. Update 2. So mother-in-law is being charged with endangerment of a child. Our lawyer has told us that she will probably not spend any time in jail. In any case, we have a restraining order against her and warned my daughter's preschool. She will never lay eyes on my child again if I can help it. There will be no second chance for her to murder my child. I don't really feel like justice will be served. We do intend to pursue a civil case against my mother-in-law for the hospital bill. My daughter has physically recovered 100%. We are working closely with her therapist to make sure everything goes as smoothly as possible for her. She doesn't seem to be suffering any emotional trauma at this point. Update 3. Going this long without seeing my daughter has apparently made my mother-in-law lose it. Yesterday I got a call from my daughter's preschool. Mother-in-law tried to pick her up. She told the staff there was a family emergency. Luckily, I got the advice here to tell the preschool the situation, so they stalled until the police got there. Mother-in-law violated her restraining order, so there may be some legal action, but I haven't been told anything yet. My daughter is fine, she has no idea anything happened. They locked down her classroom and played a series of very noisy games until it was over. We're moving several states away in June and not telling mother-in-law. She'll figure out we're gone after it's too late to bother us anymore. Update 4. So my crazy allergen-giving monster of a mother-in-law found out the day we were moving and showed up at her house. She parked behind the moving truck and said she wouldn't budge until we agreed to talk things out. Police were called and she was arrested for violating a restraining order, which I'm told could result in as much as 1 year in jail. I believe she has to go to court. Her car was towed, the movers finished up, and now we're all safely in a new state. All 4 of us, because we recently found out we'll be adding a new little one to our family in January. Mother-in-law does not know. Manager said no phone calls during work hours, period, so I stopped answering his calls. I work IT support for a medium-sized company. We've always been allowed to have our phones at our desks. Sometimes family emergencies happen, doctors call back, whatever. As long as we weren't scrolling social media all day, nobody cared. New manager comes in last month, sees one person checking a text and loses it. Sends out an email, effective immediately. No personal phones during work hours. They must be left in your car or locker. This means 9 to 5, no exceptions. Anyone caught with a phone will be written up. Okay, sure, boss. The thing is, our manager works from home 3 days a week. And when server issues pop up after hours or on weekends, guess how he contacts us? That's right, our personal phones. We don't have company phones. Friday afternoon, 4:45 p.m., major server issue. I see it, could fix it in 10 minutes, but my phone is in my car as per policy. I calmly finish my work at 5 o'clock and walk out. By the time I get to my car and check my phone at 5:15, I have 17 missed calls and a string of increasingly panicked texts from my manager. The server has been down for 30 minutes. Multiple departments can't do anything. I call him back. Hey, just got to my car and saw your calls. What's up? He's furious, malding and seething, asking why I didn't answer. I remind him about the no phones policy. He says that's different. This was an emergency. I point out his email said no exceptions, and I was just following policy to avoid a write-up. Monday morning, new email. Personal phones are permitted at desks for emergency purposes. Back to normal then. Anyway, that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, I appreciate it. Be sure to drop a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe as well if you want to see more Reddit content like this. So I'm out of here. Take care, friends, and I'll see you next time.